All right, let's break down a short story that pulls off something really special. It hooks you with classic horror, you think you know exactly where it's going, and then it leaves you with something so much more profound. We're going to get into exactly how it builds that suspense and then pulls off this incredible emotional twist. You know, every great story starts with a hook, right? Something that just grabs you and refuses to let go. And this one, it doesn't waste a second. It drops us right into the middle of the action. At the exact moment, everything is about to change. So, the story opens with a line we've all heard a million times. Don't look under your bed. It's so familiar, it's a classic horror trope that immediately sets this spooky tone. It's almost like the author is winking at us, wanting us to think we know exactly what kind of story this is going to be. And you've got to pay attention to the writing style here. It's so fast, so punchy. 3:17 a.m., door creaks open. You see? Each one of these short sentences is like a quick little jab, building this rhythm of unease, and making us feel like we're right there in the room with our main character, Arav. And right here, this is our first major twist. The threat isn't coming through that open door. It's not trying to get in. No, it's already there. This one simple reveal completely flips our expectations on their head and makes the danger feel so much more personal and immediate. Okay, so the hook is set. The story has our full attention. Now what? Well, it has to escalate. And how it does this is just brilliant. It uses this fantastic three-step process that dials up the fear from just a subtle feeling all the way to a direct threat. Just look at how this builds. Seriously, it's a masterclass in pacing. First, you get a subtle physical sensation, the blanket moving. It's creepy, sure, but maybe you could explain it away. Then, it escalates to something completely impossible. That unplugged robot. Okay, this confirms it. The presence is supernatural. And then finally, step 3, direct contact. The glowing eyes. There's no more hiding, no more denying it. And those words coming from the robot, they're just chilling. Taking a simple, innocent phrase like play with me and dropping it into this terrifying context is so effective. It's not just scary, it's deeply unsettling. It adds this whole other layer of mystery to what this thing actually wants. So, here we are. The climax. Arav has to confront the source of all this fear. But listen, this is the moment where the story just pivots. This is the turning point where it sheds its horror skin and reveals what it's truly about. And it all hinges on this one little detail. The eyes weren't angry. They looked sad. That single word is everything. After building all that tension, the story gives us this one word that completely reframes the entire situation. It's the key piece of foreshadowing that tells us, hey, this isn't a story about a monster, this is a story about pain. And this contrast just gets right to the heart of it. We expected a monster, right? Something to be fought or run away from. But the reality is so much more heartbreaking. It's just a lonely child. The story so cleverly uses our own horror movie expectations against us, just so it can deliver a much bigger emotional punch. And boom, there it is, the ghost's motivation. It's not driven by evil or malice, but by something we can all understand, this deep, profound loneliness and a desperate desire not to be forgotten. And that mention of an old photograph, it ties its story directly to this house, to this physical space. So now we move into the resolution. And what's so beautiful about this story is that the conflict isn't solved with some heroic fight or a clever trap. Nope, it's resolved with a simple act of empathy. I mean, this line is the heart of the entire story. It just strips away all the spooky stuff and reveals this universal fear that connects Arav, the Shadow Boy, and honestly, all of us. Who doesn't understand that feeling? What a powerful moment this is. Think about it. In most horror stories, light is a weapon, right? It's used to banish the darkness. But here, light is an offering. Arav isn't trying to destroy the shadow, he's trying to see it, to acknowledge it. His bravery isn't in fighting, but in his willingness to understand. And the shadow's final words just confirm everything. This was all it ever wanted. Not to scare, not to harm, but simply to be seen, to be remembered. The greatest gift you can give a forgotten soul is just to acknowledge that they were there. So what are we left with at the end of all this? Well, the story gives us one final lingering image that really encapsulates its true message and leaves this lasting impact on both Arav and on us, the reader.
And I love how the pacing here at the end just slows right down. It builds one last little bit of suspense, kind of mirroring the beginning of the story, but now in the safe light of day. So, what did the shadow leave behind?
It's a physical object, and this choice is so important. The marble makes the whole encounter real. It wasn't just a dream or some nightmare. It's a tangible link between these two worlds, a little token of the connection that was just made. And then, this one single word, friend. This is the ultimate resolution. It completely recontextualizes the entire night. It wasn't a haunting, it was a meeting. The story that began with this deep-seated fear ends with the promise of friendship. It's just a beautiful, powerful transformation. And that really leaves us with this final thought. You know, this story isn't just about a ghost under the bed. It's about the people and the memories in our own lives that kind of fade into the shadows. So the real question is, what forgotten stories are all around you, just waiting for someone to turn on a little bit of light?